The wind on Xylos is a patient thief. It steals warmth from your skin. It steals words from your mouth. You stand before a monument of sorrow. Twisted spires of black rock claw at a bruised sky. This is the last refuge of the Elder Ones. A dying race on a dying world. Your client approaches from the shadows. He is impossibly old. His frame is thin, like a dried reed. Yet his eyes hold the weight of galaxies. He calls himself Jean, an elder of a forgotten people. He does not offer a hand. His kind finds human customs strange. He gestures with a three-fingered hand. You are the one they call Gunslinger. His voice is like dust and echoes. A human of singular, violent purpose. You do not confirm or deny it. Your reputation does the talking for you. It saves a lot of time on introductions. Jean's robes shift in the wind. I have a task for you, a rescue. You raise an eyebrow. Rescues are messy. They are often more complicated than a simple bounty. They get personal. The price will be high, you state. Your voice is steady against the wind. It has to be. The frontier respects nothing less. We can pay, Jean says. He opens a small crystalline box. Inside, a shard of pure light pulses. It hums with contained energy. The nascent singularity, a power source that could run a city for a century. Enough to make a king out of a beggar, or a legend out of a gunslinger. You nod slowly. A payment like that means the prize is even greater, or the danger is beyond comprehension. Maybe both. Who is the target? Not a who. Jean corrects softly. A what? A being of immense importance. A child of the cosmos itself. He looks toward the heavens. The K, Thar Dominion holds it in their deepest, darkest territory. The K, Thar Dominion. The name hangs in the air. Colder than the Xylos wind. They are a civilization built on cold logic, a vast empire of insectoid warriors. They conquer, they assimilate, they erase anything that does not compute, especially humanity. They hold this being, you repeat. Where? The job gets worse with every detail. That's usually how it goes. The pay gets better too. It's a delicate balance. On a fortress, a mobile citadel. Jean's eyes seem to dim. They call it the axiom, citadel, a place of absolute order. It moves through their space, a needle in a field of needles. He projects a hazy image from a device on his wrist. It shows a shape, a being of swirling light and color. It looks like a newborn nebula, a creature of impossible beauty and power. You have never seen anything like it. Few have. This is the prize, Jean whispers. It is young. It is innocent. The K, Thar do not see its beauty. They see only its potential. Potential for what? You ask. But you already know the answer. There is only one thing empires like the K, Thar want. More power, more control, a weapon. Jean confirms your thought. They seek to twist its nature, to turn this font of creation into a tool of destruction, to aim a young god at their enemies. He pauses, and they have many enemies. You stare at the image. The being of light seems to pulse, almost like a heartbeat, rescuing it from the heart of the Dominion. It sounds less like a mission and more like a myth, a good way to get your ship turned into fine metal dust. But the pay is a singularity shard. And the alternative, letting the K, Thar, build a god weapon, is not great either. You made your choice the moment you saw that shard. You just needed to hear the bad parts first. I'll need my ship, you say, and a lot more information. Your ship is not a thing of beauty. It is not sleek. It is not elegant. The Iron Comet is a beast, a block of scarred, dark metal. It was built for function, not for parades. Built by human hands on a frontier that chews up and spits out pretty things. You walk up the ramp. The inner door hisses shut behind you. The sterile air of the cockpit is a welcome friend. It smells of ozone and recycled oxygen, the smell of home. You strap into the command chair. The worn leather groans a familiar complaint. Your fingers dance across the controls. Panels light up around you. Green, amber, and a defiant crimson. The ship's core begins to hum. It is a low, hungry sound. The sound of contained fury. This is a vessel of pure human defiance. You run the pre-flight checks. Shields are at 98%. Not perfect. But nothing on the frontier ever is. Life support is stable. The weapon systems are cold but ready. Your twin plasma cannons are hungry. Your kinetic drivers are eager. They are the fangs of the comet. You check the engine output. The fusion core spools up. The roar builds from a hum to a tremor. It shakes the very atoms of the ship. This is not the silent, graceful drive of a Xylos cruiser. This is the roar of a human engine. Loud, inefficient, and incredibly powerful. You think of the job. Plunging into the heart of the K, Thar Dominion. It is a nest of perfect, logical predators. They calculate every move. They predict every outcome. They believe they have an answer for everything. It's a common mistake for people who think too much. You grip the flight stick. The iron comet strains against its landing struts. It wants to fly. It wants to hunt. The Dominion has their logic, their calculations, their cold, sterile fortresses. You have a ship with a bad attitude, and a gun for each hand. Sometimes, that's all the logic you need. You pull back on the stick. The iron comet leaps into the bruised sky of Xylos, leaving the ghosts and their sorrow behind. Space is not empty. It is filled with traps and wonders. Your course takes you through the Calypso Nebula, a vast cloud of incandescent gas and stellar dust. It is beautiful from a distance. Up close, it is a killer, a graveyard of ships. The nebula is a vibrant swirl of purple and gold. It blinds your long-range sensors. It plays tricks on your navigation, but it also provides cover. A perfect place to hide from watchful eyes. The K, Thar Dominion, patrols these sectors. They hunt for smugglers, pirates, and gunslingers like you. You guide the iron comet deeper into the haze. Dust particles ping against the forward view screen. They sound like gentle rain, a deceptive calm before a potential storm. Your short-range scanner is your only eye here. It sweeps the space ahead, painting a wireframe picture of your surroundings. An alert flashes on your console, a proximity warning. You kill the main drive. The comet goes silent. Drifting now, a ghost in the fog. You peer into the view screen, trying to see past the glowing clouds. Two shapes emerge from the purple mist. K, Thar patrol ships. Their design is sharp and angular, like obsidian daggers. They move with an unnatural precision, flying in perfect formation. No wasted energy, no deviation. Pure, cold K, Thar efficiency. They are hunting. You can feel it. Their sensor beams sweep through the nebula. Probing, searching, one of the beams washes over your ship. For a tense second, nothing happens. You hold your breath. Your hand hovers over the weapon controls. The patrol ships continue on their path. They did not see you. Your ship's stealth systems are a patchwork of human ingenuity, a mess of mismatched tech and clever tricks. The K, Thar systems were looking for a logical energy signature. You gave them a chaotic one instead. They simply could not compute you. You allow yourself a small smile. Predictability is a weakness. The K, Thar have it in spades. You wait until their energy signatures fade. Then you bring the comet's engines back to life. A low rumble in the cosmic dust. The journey continues. The Calypso Nebula hides many secrets. One of them is a place called Port Anarchy. It is not a port. It is a collection of hollowed-out asteroids, lashed together with cables and hope. A lawless station for those who live between the cracks of galactic law. You dock the Iron Comet in a dark, unlisted berth. The air on the station is thick. It smells of spilled fuel, alien spices, and desperation. This is where you are to meet your informant. A shady character named Glitch. He supposedly has fresh data on the Axiom, Citadel's route. The meeting place is a bar. Of course it is. It is always a bar. This one is called the Gravity Well. The lighting is low. The patrons are lower. You find a booth in the back. Your coat is pulled tight. Your hand rests near the grip of your sidearm. Glitch slides into the booth opposite you. He is a wiry man with cybernetic eyes. His pupils whir as they focus on you. Gunslinger, he rasps. You came. I was not sure you would be so foolish. I have the payment, you say. You slide a data chip across the table. It is loaded with untraceable currency. Give me the route data. Glitch smiles. It is not a pleasant sight. The price has gone up. The K, Thar are tightening their security. This information cost me more than I expected. He always says that. It's part of the dance. This is not a negotiation, you say calmly. You get what we agreed upon. His smile fades. You humans, always so arrogant. He leans back. Perhaps a lesson in humility is needed. As he speaks, two large figures rise from nearby tables. A hulking, four-armed brute and a reptilian merc. Both have plasma pistols aimed your way. This was not part of the dance. The data, Glitch, you say, one last time. My new friends here have a counteroffer, Glitch says. They get your ship, I get to live. You sigh. It was a nice, quiet trip so far. Under the table, your own pistol is already in your hand. You did not become a gunslinger by being slow. My counteroffer, you say, is that you all learn about bad investments. The world explodes in plasma fire. You kick the table over for cover. A red bolt sizzles past your head. It melts a patch of the wall behind you. You fire twice from the hip. The reptilian merc goes down, a smoking hole in his chest. The four-armed brute roars. He unloads a volley of shots. You are already moving, rolling behind the bar. Patrons are screaming and running. Glitch is scrambling for the exit. You vault over the bar. You fire once more. Your shot hits the brute's weapon. It explodes in his hands. He stumbles back, howling. You see Glitch fumbling with a datapad near the door. The data. He was trying to wipe it. You fire a final shot. Not at him. At the door control panel next to his head. It sparks and shorts out. The blast door slams shut. Glitch is trapped. You walk towards him. Your pistol is steady. Let's talk about that price increase again. He stares at the pistol, then at you. He wisely hands over the datapad. Back in the safety of the Iron Comet, you study the data. Glitch's information seems solid. Too solid. It contains the complete patrol routes of the K Thar fleet. It details the projected path of the Axiom, Citadel. It even has schematics of the fortress itself. You connect the datapad to your ship's computer. The files are heavily encrypted. A K Thar specialty. But John gave you the decryption keys. A slow trickle of information begins to flow. It is more than just roots and numbers. It is a glimpse into the mind of your enemy. You read their internal communications, their strategic planning documents, their philosophical texts. It is all cold, hard, logic. They see the universe as a grand equation, a problem to be solved, a system to be ordered. And then you find the files on humanity. The K, Thar have studied your species for decades. They are utterly baffled by you. They despise your chaotic nature, your art, your music, your emotions. To them, these are all errors in the code, flaws in the system. They call you the probability plague, a variable that cannot be predicted, an agent of chaos that disrupts their perfect calculations. Your unpredictability is not just a quirk to them. It is a threat to their entire way of life. Their greatest fear is that humanity's chaos is contagious, that it could infect other species, that it could unravel the order they have fought so hard to build. Their reports are filled with a strange mix of disgust and fear. They analyze human heroics as illogical self-sacrifice. They label love as a temporary chemical imbalance. They see your defiance in the face of impossible odds as a system malfunction. You lean back in your chair. The pieces are starting to click into place. The K, Thar, are not just conquerors. They are crusaders. They are on a holy war against chaos itself. And you, a human gunslinger, are their devil. A small icon flashes on the screen, a hidden file within the data. It was not part of the main package. It seems Glitch did not know it was there. You open it. It is a single, encrypted intelligence packet, marked with the highest K, Thar security clearance. Something is very wrong. This data is a gift horse, and you are about to look it right in the mouth. The hidden file decrypts. It is a tactical directive, an order from a K, Thar Fleet Admiral. The directive outlines a plan to trap and destroy a specific target, a target matching the description of the Iron Comet. Your ship. Glitch did not just sell you data, he sold you out. The route he provided was not a path to the Axiom Citadel. It was a path into a kill box, a carefully prepared ambush. Your stomach tightens. You are already deep inside the trap. Your long-range scanners confirm it. K, Thar energy signatures appear behind you. A squadron of their dagger-like ships. They are closing fast. Ahead of you, right where the data said you should be, is the Viridian debris field, a dense cluster of fast-moving asteroids, a death trap for any ship. The K, Thar plan is simple, logical. They will herd you into the asteroid field. Your ship will be smashed to pieces, or you will be forced to turn and face their superior numbers. A perfect checkmate. No escape, no variable they did not account for. Except one. They are hunting a human. You smile grimly. They want you to enter the asteroid field. Fine. You will give them what they want. You push the throttle forward. The Iron Comet surges ahead, directly towards the swirling chaos of rock and ice. The K, Thar ships accelerate. They think you are making a desperate final run. They follow you in their perfect, rigid formation. They are predators closing in. Confident, arrogant. You enter the debris field. Alarms scream across your cockpit. Red lights flash. Proximity alerts fire off every second. A rock the size of a fighter ship tumbles past your view screen. You are flying on pure instinct now. Weaving, dodging. A dance of chaos in a storm of destruction. You check your rear scanner. The K, Thar, are still following. But their perfect formation is breaking. They cannot navigate the chaos like you can. Their logic-based flight computers are struggling. They cannot predict the random movements of the asteroids. This is your arena. You are not trapped in here with them. They are trapped in here with you. You target one of the largest asteroids, not with your weapons, with your tractor beam. You latch onto the massive rock. You spin it hard. You release it just as the lead K, Thar's ship passes. The asteroid becomes a titanic projectile. a weapon of pure, chaotic physics. It smashes directly into the K Thar squadron. The impact is silent, but spectacular. Ships shatter. Metal and fire bloom in the darkness. Their perfect formation becomes a cloud of shrapnel. You use the confusion to your advantage. You detonate a series of mining charges you planted on other rocks, creating a chain reaction, a cascade of destruction aimed squarely at the survivors. They never saw it coming. It was not a logical move. You navigate the rest of the field. The Iron Comet emerges from the other side, battered, scarred, but alive. Behind you, the Viridian debris field is now a tomb for K Thar logic. You have the real coordinates to the Axiom Citadel now, pulled from their admiral's own secret file. Time to go on the offensive. With the trap behind you, you focus on the new data, the real data. The hidden file from the K Thar admiral contained more than just his ambush plan. It held the true prize, the complete, unredacted file on the prisoner aboard the Axiom Citadel. You decrypt the final layers of security. What you find makes your blood run cold. It changes everything. Jean, the Elder, told you the K Thar held a being of great power. He was not wrong, but he was not entirely right either. The K Thar classification is nascent starborn entity. The file is filled with star science and energy readings that bend the laws of physics. They are not holding a creature. They are holding an infant. The infant of a species that lives in the hearts of suns. The file calls it a star child. A being that, when mature, will become a new star, a source of life for entire systems. It is a process of creation on a scale you can barely comprehend. And the K Thar want to pervert it. Their plan is laid out in horrifying detail. They are building a containment matrix, a device to stunt the star child's growth, to trap it in its volatile, infant state. They want to weaponize its birth, to trigger a supernova on demand, to point a big bang at any planet that defies their order. You look at the energy readings again. The star child is unstable. The K Thar are playing with forces they do not fully understand. Their cold logic sees it as a tool. They fail to see the danger. If their matrix fails, the star child could detonate prematurely. It would not just destroy the Axiom Citadel, it would obliterate the entire star system. This is no longer a rescue mission for a paying client. This is about preventing a catastrophe of the K Thar's own making. Jean and his people, the Elder Ones, were not just trying to save a powerful being. They were trying to save the galaxy from the Dominion's arrogance. You set a new course for the Axiom Citadel. The singularity shard John offered you feels less like payment now. It feels like a down payment on saving existence. No pressure, of course. The Axiom Citadel appears on your long-range view screen. It does not look like a ship or a station. It looks like a geometric impossibility, a vast, rotating structure of black metal and cold light. It is a monument to K Thar power, a temple built for the god of logic. The citadel is miles long, a spindle of interconnected rings and towers. It moves with a silent, deliberate grace, patrolled by swarms of their dagger-like fighters. It bristles with weapon emplacements, turrets that could vaporize the Iron Comet with a single, calculated shot. This is where they hold the Star Child, deep within its core, behind layers of shielding and legions of guards. A direct assault is not just suicide. It is a statistical certainty of failure. The K Thar would calculate your attack vector and eliminate you before you got within 1,000 miles. You study the schematics you took from the Admiral's file. The Citadel is a masterpiece of logical design. Every corridor is efficient, every system is redundant, every defense is perfectly placed. There are no flaws, no weaknesses, no back doors, or so they believe. The Citadel has one central command nexus. From this point, the entire fortress is managed. All systems route through it. Life support, navigation, weaponry, and the containment field for the Star Child. It is the brain of the machine. The Thar believe it is impenetrable. It is protected by their most advanced technology, guarded by their most elite soldiers. To reach it would be impossible. You look at the schematics again. You are not looking for a flaw in the design. You are looking for a flaw in the philosophy behind the design. The Thar built a fortress to defend against a logical attack, against an army, against a fleet. They did not build it to defend against a single, unpredictable human, a gunslinger with a history of making bad decisions that somehow work out. They built a fortress of logic. You are about to introduce it to a little bit of chaos. A direct assault is off the table. A stealth approach is nearly as impossible. The Citadel's sensor grid is the most advanced in the known galaxy. It can detect a pebble-sized object moving at near light speed. The Iron Comet, for all its tricks, is not a pebble. You cannot go through their defenses. You cannot go around them. So, you will have to make them invite you in. The Thar are masters of calculation. They expect you to act in your own best interest. To run. To hide. To attack their weakest point. They will never predict an act of sheer, utter insanity. Your plan is simple and terrifying. You're going to use the Iron Comet as a decoy. A very loud, very bright, very obnoxious decoy. You plot a course, not for the Citadel itself, but for a critical node in their sensor network, a nearby communications relay, the linchpin of their early warning system. You are going to fly straight at it, and you are going to open fire with everything you have. It is the single most illogical thing you could do. It is announcing your presence. It is screaming, "Here I am," to the entire Thar fleet. They will be confused. Their logic will demand an explanation. They will divert resources to intercept you, to analyze this insane tactic. While they are distracted by the fireworks, you will be long gone. You prepare your ship's escape pod. It is small, barely shielded, with a tiny engine and minimal life support. It is a metal coffin, but its energy signature is minuscule, almost non-existent. You will launch the Iron Comet on its attack run. Its autopilot will handle the flying and shooting. While it draws the wrath of the Thar, you will eject in the escape pod. You will drift silently towards the Axiom Citadel, a piece of human-shaped debris in the chaos of your own making. They will be watching for a ship, a weapon, an army. They will not be watching for a single person in a spacesuit, a ghost in the machine. It is a plan that relies on your enemy's rigid thinking, a plan that could only be created by a human mind. The human equation, a variable they can never solve. The Iron Comet screams towards the Thar relay. Plasma cannons blaze, kinetic drivers launch slugs of dense metal. The attack is beautiful and pointless. A final defiant roar from your faithful ship. You watch from the escape pod's tiny viewport. The Thar respond exactly as you predicted. Alarms must be blaring across the Axiom Citadel. Their fighters swarm from the fortress. Not towards you, but towards the Iron Comet. They move to intercept the illogical threat. Under the cover of their confusion, you are a silent shadow. Your pod's thrusters fire in short, careful bursts, pushing you on a slow, patient trajectory towards the Citadel. You are just another piece of space junk on their sensors now. Ignored. Unseen. The citadel grows in your viewport. It is immense. A continent of cold, black metal. Its sheer scale is designed to inspire awe and fear, to make any attacker feel small and insignificant. It works. You feel incredibly small. You guide the pod to a spot on the citadel's outer hull. A maintenance airlock, according to the schematics. Rarely used, lightly guarded. The pod latches on with a soft thud. You hold your breath. No alarms. They are still focused on the main show. The final, glorious death of the Iron Comet. You put on your void suit. The helmet seals with a hiss. You are alone now. Truly alone. Surrounded by 1,000,000 tons of enemy fortress. You open the pod's outer hatch. The void awaits. You step onto the hull of the Axiom Citadel. Your magnetic boots clamp onto the surface. Below you, the cosmos unfolds. A dizzying panorama of stars and nebulae. You are a single, fragile life form, standing on the back of a leviathan. The inside of the citadel is a maze. The architecture is alien, disorienting. Corridors stretch at unnatural angles. The lighting is a constant, humming silver. There are no signs, no directions. In the K, Thar mind, anyone aboard knows exactly where they are going. Logic dictates it. Your mind rebels against the perfect symmetry, the endless, repeating patterns. It is an environment designed to break a chaotic, human mind, to force it into a state of logical submission. But you are not here to think. You are here to act. You draw your pistol. Its familiar weight is a comfort, an anchor of human chaos in this sea of order. Your target is the warden. The schematics lead you deeper into the citadel's heart. You move through sterile, silent corridors. Ghostly service drones glide past. They ignore you. You are not a registered threat in their programming, just an anomaly. A piece of data that does not fit. You reach a massive circular chamber. This is the final checkpoint before the central nexus, and the containment chamber of the Star Child. In the center of the room stands your welcoming party. It is the Warden, the K, Thar's elite guardian, a bioengineered nightmare. It is a towering creature, a fusion of gleaming chrome and rippling muscle. It has 4 arms, each ending in a different weapon. A plasma caster, a vibroblade, a shield generator, a containment snare. It has no face, only a single glowing red optic. It scans the room. It fixes on you. A voice, synthesized and cold, echoes in the chamber. Anomaly detected. Unsanctioned biological entity. Cease all function. Submit for analysis. You have a feeling analysis involves a lot of sharp objects. I'll pass, you say. Your own voice sounds strange in the silent chamber. The warden's optic glows brighter. Non-compliance is illogical. The probability of your success is 0.001%. Never tell me the odds, you mutter. It is a classic line for a reason. The fight begins. The warden moves with blinding speed. Its actions are perfectly efficient. It fires the plasma caster. You dive behind a support pillar. The air sizzles where you just stood. You return fire. Your shots spark harmlessly against its shield generator. This is a battle of instinct against programming. The warden analyzes your movements. It predicts your trajectory. It counters your every move before you even make it. It is trying to solve you like a math problem. But you are not a math problem. You are chaos. You stop trying to fight it. You start trying to confuse it. You run in unpredictable patterns. You fire at the ceiling. You throw an empty energy cell across the room. You do everything a logical fighter would not do. The warden's movements become slightly less certain. Its perfect efficiency is being disrupted by your illogical actions. Its red optic flickers. It is trying to calculate your next move. But there is no pattern, no logic, only human desperation. You use its momentary hesitation. You slide across the floor. You fire not at the warden, but at the power conduit running along the wall behind it. The conduit explodes in a shower of sparks. The chamber lights flicker. The warden's shield wavers for a fraction of a second. It is all the time you need. You fire 3 quick shots, all aimed at the same spot. The unshielded joint where its primary weapon arm meets its torso. The first shot melts the armor. The second punches through. The third detonates the internal mechanism. The plasmacaster arm explodes. The warden stumbles back. Its perfect form is broken, damaged. It recalculates. It reevaluates. But you are already on it. Your final shot hits its red optic. The light dies. The monster crashes to the floor. Silent. Still. 0.001% was more than enough. The path to the final chamber is clear. You step over the fallen warden. A massive circular door blocks your way. This is it. The entrance to the Star Child's prison. The control room for the containment field. There is no handle, no keypad, no obvious way to open it. The door is a seamless surface of black metal. In its center is a single interface, a complex, shifting hologram of geometric shapes. A puzzle lock. The K, Thar, are arrogant. They believe no mind other than their own could solve this. The puzzle is based on multidimensional logic, a test of pure, cold reason. You watch the shapes twist and fold. They move in patterns that make your head ache. It is impossible. And that is the point. The K, Thar built a lock that only a K, Thar could open. They did not account for a human with a gun. You look at the schematics on your wrist display. The lock is powered by a dedicated energy source. A small, shielded generator located directly behind the wall. A logical design, efficient, self-contained, and now its greatest weakness. You cannot solve the puzzle, so you will break it. You holster your pistol. From a pouch on your belt, you take out a small, circular device, a breaching charge, a tool for making doors where there are none. It is a crude instrument, a hammer in a world of scalpels. You place the charge on the wall, next to the puzzle mechanism. The schematics tell you the exact spot, the thinnest part of the wall, right over the power generator. You set the timer for 5 seconds, enough time to get to cover. This is the ultimate act of human thinking. Faced with an impossible problem, you have chosen to change the rules, to ignore the question and blow up the teacher's desk. It is a solution born of frustration and defiance, a key made of pure chaos. You take cover behind the warden's metal corpse. The charge detonates. Not with a loud bang, but with a sharp, contained crack. The wall buckles. The holographic puzzle flickers and dies. The massive door groans. It slides open a few feet, then stops. Jammed. It is not elegant. It is not logical. But it is open. You squeeze through the gap. Inside, you finally see it. The chamber is a cathedral of technology. In the center, suspended in a crackling field of golden energy, is the Star Child. It is a swirling sphere of nascent light, a miniature galaxy being born. It pulses with a soft, silent rhythm, a heartbeat of creation. Alarms begin to shriek throughout the citadel. Your little explosion did not go unnoticed. The entire fortress is now on high alert. The K, Thar know you are here. They know you are at their most precious secret project. You have no time. You rush to the central control console. The containment field controls are displayed on a holographic screen. You do not need to understand K, Thar language. The universal symbol for off is fairly standard. A big, red, blinking icon. You slam your hand down on it. The golden energy field flickers. It dies. The Star Child is free. For a moment, it hangs in the air. Then it expands. A wave of pure, harmless light washes over you. It is not an attack. It is a feeling of joy, of freedom, of gratitude. It fills your mind with the image of 1,000 suns being born. But your actions have a consequence. The containment field was also stabilizing the Citadel's power core. Without it, the core is beginning to overload. The entire fortress is starting to shake. Red lights flash everywhere. The computer's voice announces a catastrophic core breach. In their logical perfection, they tied their survival directly to their prison. You have to get out. Now you turn to run, and then you stop. The Star Child is floating, but it is weak. It cannot escape on its own. You came here for a rescue. You are not leaving without the package. You race back to the Star Child. "Come on, kid," you say. "Time to go home." You reach out. The being of light seems to understand. It condenses. It flows around you, not touching you, but surrounding you. A warm, protective aura of starlight. You run, back through the broken door, past the dead warden. The Citadel is tearing itself apart around you. Walls crumble, lights explode. Thar's soldiers are in the corridors, but they are in a panic. Their perfect order has collapsed into chaos. Your chaos. You race back to the airlock. Your escape pod is still there. A tiny lifeboat in a sea of destruction. You jump in and seal the hatch. You fire the thrusters. The pod pulls away from the dying Leviathan. Behind you, the Axiom Citadel implodes. It does not explode outwards. It collapses in on itself. A silent, violent vortex of metal and energy. Sucked into a singularity created by its own overloading core. You ride the shockwave. A tiny pod surfing on a firestorm of your own making, wrapped in the light of a newborn star. You look for any sign of your ship, but there is nothing. The Iron Comet is gone. A worthy sacrifice. You will find another. Humans are good at building things. The journey back is quiet. You drift through space in a battered escape pod. The Star Child's light is your only illumination. It is a warm, comforting glow. It pulses softly. It seems to be healing the cracks in the pod's viewport, fixing the damaged systems. A small thank you for its rescue. You transmit a signal on a coded frequency, the one Jean gave you. You give your coordinates, and then you wait. Hours later, a ship appears. It is not a human vessel. It is a graceful, organic ship of the Elder Ones. It glides silently towards you. A tractor beam, gentle as a feather, pulls your pod into its hangar bay. The airlock opens. Jean is there. He looks at the glowing aura surrounding you. His ancient eyes fill with a light you have never seen before. It is not sorrow. It is hope. "You did it," he whispers. You faced the logic of the Thar, and you answered with chaos. The Star Child's light detaches from you. It floats toward Jean. The Elder reaches out a hand. The light swirls around him. A silent communication passes between them. A promise. A future. "It will be safe now," Jean says. "We will take it to the stellar nurseries, where it can be born in peace." He turns back to you. He presents you with the crystalline box from your first meeting. Your payment. A small price for saving a future star. You take the singularity shard. It feels heavy in your hand. Heavy with the weight of the journey. The loss of your ship. The victory over an empire's arrogance. "What will you do now, Gunslinger?" Jean asks. You look out the hangar bay doors, at the endless sea of stars, the frontier, your home. The Iron Comet is gone. you say. I'll need a new ride. A smile touches your lips. And I hear Port Anarchy has some interesting ships for sale. You leave the Elder, ones with their rescued star. You find your way to a bustling frontier station. The story arrives before you do. A whisper on the stellar winds. The tale of a lone human, a gunslinger who faced down the K, Thar Dominion, a legend who flew into a fortress of logic and tore it apart from the inside. They say you rode a firestorm home, wrapped in the heart of a baby star. They say you are a probability plague, an agent of chaos, a variable that can never be solved. And as you lean against the bar in a noisy cantina, shopping for a new ship to call your own, you know one thing for sure. The galaxy now understands the meaning of human will. And the K, Thar have a new equation to worry about. You,